Hello, and welcome back to Tabletop Thoughts. This morning, I thought I would just go through real quick and give a rundown of what I've been working on. So the first things I have here today are these elementals. They are from Bright Minis. They are made to be printed supportless on an FDM printer. So I don't know how well these are going to show up here because they're just plain black, but this is our Earth Elemental, Air Elemental, Fire Elemental. As you can tell, I've kind of primed him with a white gesso just since I have a bunch of this stuff, because fire shouldn't be black. You shouldn't have shadows on fire. And then I did him kind of a quick coating on the water elemental just to see what it looks like. I also printed out a few of these spiders. These are from Fat Dragon Games. Of course, these are also FDM printed, no supports. And I got a couple of these. These are from Bright Minis. Again, no supports, FDM printer. Also from Bright Minis, when I get close to an end of a roll of filament, these are ogres that are Hulk Hogan. He's ripping his shirt, as you can see. When I get close to the end, they don't take much filament, so I'll just print a couple of these. There's a Mad Mardigan. You know, they're like little tribute ones that he did when they pass. So I'll print out a couple of these and I throw them into my bin of free minis that I hand out. If somebody buys something off my Etsy store, I throw in a free mini or two. Here is the basilisks. He is also supportless on FDM printer from Bright Minis. If I remember, I'll add a card. I painted one of these in a video. Something I found at the Dollar Tree the other day when I was looking for parts. They have these epoxy resin and hardener. For $2.50, I'm going to give it a try. I made sure that, if you turn them upside down, you see the stuff moving around. I don't want it to be like old and already hardened, but so that's something we're going to try on a build here soon. I also printed out on my FDM printer some of these ruined walls. I printed up a set and painted them already on the website, but I'm going to do another set. That way I should have enough for a game board if I'd ever play something. I printed out some more of these pillars. These are the spiral pillars. These are cavern pillars. These are the square pillars. All these are going to get painted up, and they'll probably end up on my Etsy store because I think I don't have any more painted ones on that store. So if you're looking for pillars, you head over there. They should be coming. Got another one of these coming as well. This is FDM printed. The printing goes over on. It's one of their terrain pieces that they give out every month. So I really like this guy. So I'm gonna have another one here soon. If you've been following along on my blog, tabletop-thoughts.com, you would see that Artisan Guild, they give out free minis every month. It's part of a Vanguard series, I believe they call it. But the last one they reached out and gave away was these harpies. So of course I printed them out. These are all resin, of course. They look real nice. The only thing, since they're so delicate, I won't do a slap chop on these. There's no way I'm gonna be brushing them with a dry brush. So they have to wait till I get enough resin minis printed out that I can bust out the airbrush and do a zenithal highlight. Another tree, Fat Dragon Games. Looks like I missed it when I glued it. Oh well, I might have to break that and fix that. But there's this warrior. I created him using the printing goes over on. They do have a customizer, almost like Hero Forge, where you can go in and they'll have different releases. They have dwarves, elves, humans. So I made a custom mini just to see if I could, just to, you know, play around with it. But yep, made them, printed them out, highlighted them. He's waiting for an airbrush prime. I mean, an airbrush highlight with the harpies. Here is another. The printing goes over on. This last release was, I don't know, it's like they call them, I forget which, Deadwood elves or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but this is supposed to be the king from The Hobbit of the elves. Here's like Legolas. And Teriel, I believe her name was, the female elf ranger that was head of the guard. So, waiting for the airbrush. So yeah, I'm getting close. I just hate cleaning it, so I wait to the last minute before I'll actually do anything. Here's a berserker pit fighter. This is from Bright Minis. No support, so this guy can get a slap chop. He's beefy enough he can take a dry brush. Here is a blind demon. He has no eyes on. It's kind of cool. Here is a knight with like a bull on his helmet. Also from Bright Minis, and he has a bull on his shield. And the Wendigo. So all that's been going on in the background for my HeroQuest. I'm getting more of them put together from that set. So you see the gargoyle. I have the female wizard, the original barbarians. So there's quite a few in here. I just did a whole bunch of bases for these guys, so I still have to get those cured and primed and that. But the Chaos Warriors. So all that's coming. And then something else I've been working on. This is from the printing goes over on. It's an elven gazebo. So far I painted the roof. That's like a turquoise color. I started doing some of the browns, but they're not as dark as I want. I'm gonna have to come back in with a darker brown. It looked darker when I was putting it on, but now that it's dried, it's a little light. And then I'll leave the stone like a gray color. There's a bunch of vines, of course they'll go green. The wooden parts will be a nice dark brown. I think that I like that color. And then when I'm done, I'll do a dry brush to kind of tie it all together. And that guy should be done, hopefully sometime in September. All right. One of the last things I've been working on, I think I showed some of these off on the website. If you watch enough YouTube channels and crafting videos, you're going to eventually come across a relatively newer channel called Junk Drawer Studio. It's by a lady, I believe her name is Betsy May, where like a month or so ago she did a video where she made like a low poly terrain pieces that you can build up stuff. And I really liked the idea, so I started putting together so that you could almost make a little map, 3D map for your player. So I gotta go back in and touch up some of the paint on some of these, but you can see greens, round, blues for water. So if you have a hex map that you guys are playing off of, you can build it right on the table. I also started making little low poly. So if you have a forest, here's a mountain range. Or no, sorry, this is a cave. That's why I gotta finish working on these. But so if you have a monster cave somewhere, you can actually drop it on the board and build this out as you're going along. All right, here I made something quick here. Just drop down and show what I've been doing. So you got our forest, there's a cave. So you had a lake if you're making your 3D hex maps. There's some more like trees. Put that one down here. I also made some, oh well, this is gonna zoom in here, but it's like a little walled village with a house in there. Here we go. Here's the mountains. Little tower. A castle. Here's another village that's not walled, so that I can get some more houses, so maybe it's a little bit bigger of a city. Yeah, and that's about it. So that's what I've been working on recently. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can get some of this stuff completed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out the next video right here. It's packed with more great content. And as always, keep on gaming.